Alright, so this is a Polaris Ranger. It's a 2014. It has a 4,500 pound winch on it. It's a Polaris Ranger 800 EFI. It's a limited edition. Okay, I don't know what limited means on this thing. I didn't get a book with it or anything else, but I've seen a lot of people talking about this bus bar over here. And I also seen somebody talking about not being able to figure out how to wire up their winch. I don't know if this is factory. I just bought this thing, but this is how I got it. And there's a little plug in here. I'm assuming it goes over there to your outlet on the dash on the inside. But this is the bus bar right here. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a test light here. Okay, so you know, I saw some people talking about Polaris dealers and all this other stuff that good luck. Some are good, some are bad. I was just in here. Apparently this one is constant. You can probably make up whatever one you want to be constant. Power, you can see that there. This little red wire right here, I believe that goes to my emergency switch brake, because little red wire goes right over here to this corner of the dash, this is also where the plug is for the winch. And I'm going to turn the key on. Alright, so I'm going to see what's powered out here. That one's not. That one is now. So this is probably your ground right here. So let me just scope that out. I'll take that off the ground over there. And don't want to fucking ground these. Oops, excuse me. Don't want to ground these things out anywhere. That would be tragic as hell. Yeah. Okay. So the middle one here, that's your ground. I put a bunch of electrolyte grease on these things because they're pretty grody. I don't know where this thing's set. I asked the guy if it set outside. He said no, but I think it did because it's got a lot of rust on the frame. I was really disappointed in that. But people were also talking about they wanted to have extra power for your accessories. So here's what I did. You don't have to do it. That's your bus bar in there. And here's your battery. What I did was I have a piece of wire here that's hooked to my positive terminal. I cleaned all this stuff up yesterday. Took it all apart, cleaned it all up, because I know damn well wintertime comes, I'm going to end up getting screwed some way. And I took off the ground. I took the post off of here. I got a longer bolt because I added a ground wire right here. And you can see that wire. There's a ground wire. Here's my positive wire. And I ran them down here. You can see there they are right there. Both those wires. There's my ground, and that's my power. Okay, ran them underneath the floor. And I came up on the dash, behind the dash, up in here. And I came up by the radiator, right here. And what I did was I cleaned off a spot, steel on the, I guess you could call that the firewall there. And here's the ground wire that's hooked to my battery. I wanted to have, this is for a switch I have up on my dash that I just installed. So I wanted to have a good place to have a ground wire. And what I did was I ran the power wire up to this block here. Now you can get one of these blocks anywhere. I mounted it up here because it's fairly high, and this should keep it pretty dry. I don't know how much crap can get up in there. I'm not going to be doing any mud hole shots or any of that crap. I just I use it out here, trail ride, but I don't get crazy with this thing. I don't have money to beat the crap out of my stuff, you know. So I got to kind of take it easy with everything. But I put this piece of inner tube on the back side of it to kind of shock absorb it a little bit. And this is for the switch I have on the dash, but you can put a lot of accessories on that. Now this thing's all set to go. There, I can show you. Here's my ground. And you can see that light comes on. That's because there's no fuse in there. And if the fuse was blown, that light would come on. See? And that fuse is good, so the light didn't come on. But if the fuse is blown, the light comes on. You can see all of them come on there. I got this little terminal block a long time ago. I don't remember why I got it. Probably got it for one of my other four-wheelers or some stupid thing. I don't know. But you can put one of these in here. And, you know, if you're worried about it, you could always seal the bottom of that, because that's pretty well, I don't know what could possibly short out in it. It's pretty well sealed on the back side, but you can see this cover is pretty well sealed. If you wanted to go real crazy, you could put some Vaseline around it, or you could Permatex the thing shut, you know, I don't know. But that's what I did for a bus bar. I didn't bother using theirs because obviously this has a 4,500 pound winch in it, and I got a snowplow, so they occupied those positions in there for the winch. That's what these wires and things go to, up in here. So that's where they got the power from for this solenoid over here. They also ran that wire up to the battery back there, but they didn't actually go to the battery either. They went to the solenoid. So that's this wire right here on the solenoid. Down here, this is your starter wire, and that's the solenoid. I don't know why they did that. I guess maybe, you know, it's connected right to the positive wire. I would have just ran it to the terminal, but whatever. That's how they did it. Who am I? I'm just an ex-Harley mechanic that just knows enough to get myself in trouble. Shut that back off. But do I like the Ranger? Well, for an 800cc, I thought it would have been a lot faster. It's pretty snappy. It's got quite a bit of power. I filled it up today with wood in the back. I had it up to almost to the bottom of the buckboards there, and it didn't really squat or anything. I couldn't tell I had the load in there driving it through the trail. So, I mean, it seems to handle everything pretty good. I know the other one I had, it was a 2000 Polaris. It was a piece of junk. But that thing there, I used to load it all the way up to the top of the roof here in the back of that thing. It was a bigger pile of shit than I probably should have really owned, but that was a 2000 Ranger, and it was a 500, I think it was, but it had a lot of freaking issues, and I sold it to some guy, and I felt really bad after I sold it to him because I knew it was such a piece of shit. But that's me. I don't think anybody else would have batted a freaking eyeball. But anyway, this is the high output. Says so right there. And it's the EFI, and it's the 800 Polaris. It has power steering, and man, this thing steers like a freaking dream. It really does. I've never had anything. I've never had anything really this new. So this has been quite the newer experience. I got my Easy Rider rifle rack up here. I had to install that right off the bat. So I got to take the roof off. I'm gonna put some deadener on it. I got to take the windshield out because the rubber seal around the edge over there is falling off, and they tucked it up there, and I want it back on there, so I'll put that on there. And so probably what I'll be doing next is going out collecting beer cans to pay for this thing. Seen a bunch of them on the side of the road, so. But there you have it. It needs tires. I was, I mean, I'm not going to say what I paid for it. I didn't pay like what I would have paid from a dealership. I have done a lot of work to it already. I've taken the skid plate off the bottom already. I've greased what I can grease, not a lot. I adjusted the shocks up 2 notches, all 4, all the way around. And I noticed it was just a tad bit stiffer. I should have measured it before I did it, but I didn't. But it looked to me like when I set it back on the ground that it was taller than it was. So, but this thing handles really nice. It's very smooth. It's I don't dare crank the shocks up anymore because I'll probably lose that nice ride. I am old, and having something decent to get around in the woods and something that's not going to wreck my poor old body is kind of nice for a change, because I do a lot of work around here with this, and it comes in really handy. So that's the deal with the bus bar. I would put my own in personally. That's what I did. And like I say, I ran the wires. There's no reason why you can't do that. I didn't get into any trouble unhooking anything. So, I mean, that's it, Polaris Ranger. It's the limited edition. I have no idea what the limited edition means, but that's how you can hook up your a separate bus bar to power different things in here. I don't have anything in here right now, but I do have lights that I'm putting under the dash so I can see what's on the floor. I am going to put one up over here. I also am going to put a cigarette lighter up here for my strobe light up on the roof, and I also am going to put 4-ways on this, so stay tuned. Maybe next month I'll be doing the 4-ways. I'm not going to do the lever on the steering wheel. I don't need that. It's just one more thing to get in the way. They make a kit that you can just put on the dash, and it's a switch. Push one, it's left. Push the other one, it's right. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to put some turn signals on it. There's plenty of places to put the lights. I can put one here, put one over there, and I can probably find someplace back there or up here, even in the hood. I could probably even make a little aluminum bracket come down, and I could put the turn signal in there. I don't really want to drill holes in the bed and all that crap, so I'll probably put them up here. And not only that, but then I got to deal with wiring on the frame and everything. So yeah, it's 800 EFI, high output, Ranger. It's a pretty nice rig. It's a 2014. It's got a 12, actually I think it's got 1,000 miles on it. I looked on it, 1,000 something miles on it. Hasn't really been used too much, you know. Tires, need new tires, but so there you go. 2014 Polaris Ranger EFI 800 high output.